the one thing that we should know about transitional justice from all other experience is going to leave a lot of people unsatisfied. Nobody will be happy about what's going to happen. Like, no matter how perfect the process is going to be, a lot of people will speak against it. A lot of people will not be satisfied. A lot of people will point to the loopholes, to the problems, to the failures, to the like, oh, could have been better. Anything could have been better, right? It's and that's the perfect and the enemy of the good equation thing. But also, other things is it's going to take a long time. So especially in the missing persons investigations, if the family is expecting, well, the government change in next month, I'm going to know about my loved ones. Like, no, it's not going to happen the next year or the next 5 years. You'll have to wait because it's a lot of data, a lot of names, a lot of graves, a lot of collections of information, and it needs to be done in the right way. Now, some of these transitional justice mechanisms need to be centralized, and they are more successful if they are centralized, like the missing person search, because you don't want the names to be split between 20 NGOs and the UN. You don't want the DNA samples to be between 4 or 5 genetics labs between ICRC and the UN, etc. But some functions are better off if the others participate, like the truth-telling processes, like sharing documentation with the prosecutor's offices. If you have a video on your phone, you kept it in the last 15 years because you were scared, it is the time you send that video to somebody in the prosecutor office. So if you want to collect data from everybody and do data collection centers, you have the public contribute to that. A lot of the cases I've seen, the crowds kind of crowdsourcing, the crowds identify the person. Like we have a video of a person committing a crime, but then the public will say, oh, this person is here, and this is his profile in social media, and he does X and Z. And sometimes we relied on those in Europe, because those people end up changing their location, say, hey, I'm in Hamburg now. Okay, we go to the federal police in Germany and say, this person in your country committed a war crime back in Syria before they showed up. So one thing about the UN agencies is they could contribute, definitely. Unfortunately, their expectation is they should lead everything. And I think the Syrian society is not pleased about that. The victims community is not pleased about that. And the state is not super positive about the UN to start with. So I worry sometimes they might be left out or pushed out completely. They bring some value of the experience and the experts they bring, yes. They could provide some advisory role as well to the state, and that's not bad, but that's where I see their role. I think their role is good. The more successful, honestly, the state commission, the Transitional Justice Commission, and the civil society, the less UN contribution will be needed anyway.